Every single human being, whether they have tattoos or absolutely hate them, has looked at an older person with ink or thought about their own future and wondered, what is that going to look like when I'm 80? It taps into a massive universal anxiety about aging, counters decades of societal myths, and establishes a question that most people are afraid to answer honestly. It's about the legacy of your skin and the physics of time. It's the exact phrase skeptical parents have been repeating to their kids for generations. Sure, it looks cool now, but what is that going to look like when you're 80 years old? They told us it would naturally turn into a blurry, green, unrecognizable mess. We were told that as we grow old, our tattoos will naturally turn into a blurry, green, unrecognizable mess. A permanent mistake sagging on an aging frame. But if you look past the stereotypes, you find a reality far more fascinating. Today, we are taking an honest look at the 40-year canvas. We are breaking down the exact science of what happens to pigment particles inside your body over half a century. From cellular biology to the mechanical physics of the machine and the optical laws of the skin. To understand how a tattoo changes over 40 years, you have to realize that your ink is sitting inside a living, moving cellular battlefield. The moment a needle places pigment into your dermis, your body views it as a biological invasion that must be neutralized. Your immune system sends in specialized white blood cells called macrophages. Their job is simple: consume the intruder and flush it out. Because professional ink particles are too massive for the cells to carry away, your body reaches a quiet, permanent stalemate. The macrophages wrap themselves around the ink to hold it in place, effectively becoming the permanent keepers of your art. But as the decades roll forward, your cells naturally age, break down, and regenerate. This is where the long-term physics of aging begins to take hold. But cells aren't immortal. Over decades, these macrophages die. When they do, they drop the ink. Before the ink can escape, a new cell comes along and scoops it back up. Think of it as a microscopic relay race that lasts for 50 years. Every time that handoff happens, the ink particle shifts a microscopic fraction of a millimeter. This is ink migration. It's why those sharp lines from your 20s naturally soften and settle as you hit your 60s. Your tattoo isn't disappearing, it's settling deeper into your history. It is a slow-motion dance between your immune system and the pigment. The first 24 months are the dermal remodeling phase. This is when your body builds a permanent cage of collagen around the ink. If this phase is stable, the next 40 years of aging become predictable. Now, let's talk chemistry. Older pigments often relied on heavy metals like iron oxide or lead, which were incredibly stable but carried heavy risks. Modern synthetic pigments are cleaner, but their smaller molecular footprint changes the aging game. Carbon-based black ink is the king of longevity. It's massive and resistant to breakdown. Organic pigments like reds and yellows are smaller. This is why red roses in a 30-year-old tattoo often fade while the black outlines stay crisp. It's molecular physics. Some of that ink leaves the tattoo site entirely. It travels through your lymphatic system and ends up in your lymph nodes. If you've ever seen a surgeon note pigmented nodes, that is your body successfully winning small skirmishes in a cellular war. It's proof your biological system is working for you. But longevity starts with the machine. The physics of the strike, the specific torque of the motor, and the needle's impact depth dictates how the skin receives and holds the pigment boulders. Everything depends on mechanical precision and consistent torque levels for year 40. We analyze the harmonics of the needle strike. If the frequency is too high, it creates unnecessary trauma, triggering a massive immune response that flushes ink out before it can settle. We tune our machines for dermal harmony and long-term stability. Harmonics dictate the future. An artist must hit the sweet spot exactly between 1.5 and 2 millimeters deep. Too shallow and the ink is shed. Too deep and you hit the fat, causing the dreaded blowout. Precision is the armor of the art. It is the only way to outsmart the 40-year clock. Mastery is precision. At Alice Tattoos, we design for the healed reality of year 40. We understand the physics of migration. If you pack fine lines too close together today, they will eventually merge into an unreadable smudge. We build deliberate breathing room into every geometry and every line weight. This is the science of contrast. By giving the ink space to settle within the dermis, we ensure the design remains legible for a lifetime. We are literally outsmarting the clock through calculated spacing and deep black saturation that stands the test of time. Bold will hold the history. The real enemy of a long-term tattoo isn't aging or gravity. It's ultraviolet light. Sunlight acts like a slow-motion laser removal machine, breaking the molecular bonds of your pigment every single day you step outside unprotected. It is a constant molecular bombardment on your art. UV rays break those big, unmovable ink boulders into tiny pebbles. Once they're small enough, your macrophages can finally carry them away. This is the primary mechanism of fading. The sun is literally dismantling your art piece by piece, molecule by molecule, over 40 years. We also have to account for skin hysteresis, the lag in how tissue recovers from being stretched. Over 40 years, the repeated mechanical stress of moving pulls at the dermal matrix, contributing to a slow spreading of the mark. We account for this in the design's structural anchors. Let's look at the data. Tattoos on extremities like the hands and forearms age faster due to high friction and constant sun exposure. A master craftsman chooses locations that will gracefully accent the changes in your anatomy over half a century of living. Conversely, the upper back and chest remain the dermal vault. Protected from the sun and shielded from constant friction, these areas allow the eternal stalemate of the ink to stay as close to day one as biologically possible. This is the gold standard of technical stability. High elasticity zones like elbows and knees present a mechanical challenge. The constant stretching of the dermal matrix causes ink particles to shift more rapidly. Placement must account for this kinetic reality to avoid premature softening. We're even discovering how your skin's unique microbiome impacts healing and long-term vibrancy. A healthy dermal environment in those first 30 days dictates the next 30 years of stability. It's an ecosystem of ink and biology. Interestingly, laser removal is just sun damage on fast forward. It uses targeted light energy to shatter those same pigment boulders into manageable pebbles, allowing your immune system to do the heavy lifting of removal. It's the same physics, just amplified to the extreme. Science. Modern aftercare is about architecture. Using medical-grade breathable barriers allows the skin to remodel the dermis without external contamination, locking that pigment stalemate into place for the long haul. It is the definitive foundation of longevity for any masterpiece. Look at the data. Realism, with its soft gradients and lack of outlines, ages very differently than traditional work. While realism settles into a soft look, traditional work relies on the bold will hold. Thick black lines that act as anchors for the story on your skin. Choose your style for the year 80 and beyond. Beyond the physics and biology, there is a profound psychology to permanence. In a world where everything is temporary, a tattoo is a commitment to a story. It is a decision to carry your history on your skin as a mark of identity and honor that grows with you through every chapter. Proof. When you see an 80-year-old with faded, softened ink, you aren't looking at a mistake or a regret. You are looking at a living ledger. You are looking at a person whose body carried their commitments through every victory and every loss. It's the map of a life well lived and a story well told. Legacy. Your tattoos prove that you actually lived. They carried your commitments through every victory and every loss. They are the map of your life, written in ink and bone. Growing old with them isn't a failure, it's a triumph. At Alice Tattoos, we respect the physics of the canvas. We don't just follow trends, we build armor for your story. We build pieces that prove you actually lived, pieces that grow old with you as a mark of honor and a symbol of your craft. We design for year 40 and beyond. Master the game. Mission complete. If this deep dive into the 40-year canvas gave you a new perspective today, click subscribe and visit us at alicetattoos.com. We drop honest, story-driven technical case studies every single week for the dedicated collector and the master artist. I want to hear from you in the comments. Is the fear of how ink looks when you're older the main thing holding you back? And if you're a veteran collector, how has your oldest piece evolved? Let's open up an honest conversation about the reality of aging with ink. Take care of your skin, keep moving forward, and I'll catch you on the next one. Respect the physics, respect the history, respect the craft. See you in the Matrix. Stay bold. Peace.